Hey guys, this is Rose Buckley, your friendly Maryland home inspector, and I am here today to talk to you about something I'm really passionate about: residential energy efficiency and the home energy score. Now, I gave this presentation earlier this morning at a local real estate office, and it was very well received. So I figured I would make this video so that I can share the information with you as well. So let's jump into it. So I'm going to move my face so that you can see the slides. But I just wanted to introduce myself to you guys, those of you who may not know me or be familiar with my work. So as you can see right up there, I have been a home inspector with US Inspect for the past 3 years now. I absolutely love my career as a home inspector and love working with US Inspect. So I've been working in homes, certified with ASHI, the American Society of Home Inspectors, for about 3 years now. So I also, as you can see over there, I am a title holder, so I compete in pageants in my free time, and the pageants that I choose to compete in are ones that are environmentally based. So this particular one, Ms. Eco International, it was very important to me because it was all about environmental stewardship. So in 2019, I traveled to Las Vegas and competed for the title and ended up winning. So I am very proud and excited to be representing the Ms. Eco International title throughout my year. So I do cleanups and I organize tree plantings and things like that. And my basis for the pageant, my platform, as they say in the pageant industry, is the home energy score. So I'm really excited about that. And then, as you can see down there, I am the U.S. Department of Energy's Home Energy Score Ambassador with ID Energy. And as you can see in the photo down below, I was actually a speaker at the U.S. Department of Energy's Better Building Summit in 2019, and I'm hoping to be one in 2020 as well. So this is something that I'm really passionate about, that I not only have in my personal time, but I also have incorporated into my professional life as well. So, and then I did move this out of the way. I do have that logo there is Girl Power, and it's something that it's an initiative that I'm partnering with AWE, Advancing Women with Energy. So we were partnering together to get this initiative off the ground. I'm super excited. It was an idea of mine to inspire young women and girls to enter the field of energy efficiency. So I'm really excited. Stay tuned. That's coming out very soon. So let's jump into it. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the actual problem. What is the issue going on? Residential energy efficiency in the United States accounts for about 550 million metric tons of carbon emissions. That's huge. That's about 40% of the carbon emissions coming out of the United States is from residential buildings. And as you can see in the graph down below, since 1950 all the way up to the 20 teens, you can see that it has just skyrocketed with how much carbon emissions we are pumping into the atmosphere. So it's really something that's massive, and we can really make a dent in our climate battle, I guess you could say, if we tackle residential energy efficiencies. Now, it's something that is really important to many Americans, and you can see all the photos down here of so many people doing climate marches and speaking about it on social media. So it is a very relevant topic, and often in the real estate industry, we're seeing numbers coming out that millennials are about 1/3, if not more, than that of home buyers. So as you can see, it's going to be a huge issue. Many millennials are very interested in this. Not to say they're the only people who are interested in it, but it's a growing number of people coming into the residential real estate industry who are very interested in energy efficiency. Now, why is it in particular that homeowners should care about residential energy efficiency? I don't care who you are, black, white, young, old, Republican, Democrat, whoever you are, doesn't matter. Everyone wants in-home comfort. No one wants to come home to feel really cold or into a drafty home. That's not comfortable, so everyone can relate to that. We want comfortable homes. We also want to save money on our energy bills. Nobody wants to pay extra for bills when you don't have to, right? We also don't want to waste our resources. We want to preserve our resources and not just waste them for no reason. Also, stabilizing monthly home energy costs is really important for many people. We often find, especially in the United States, in winter and summer, our energy costs rise as we heat and cool our homes. And so if we can save a little bit of money and get rid of those inefficiencies, that would definitely be a huge help and help homeowners be able to stabilize and predict what their energy costs will be throughout the year. Also, it just makes everybody happy. It improves quality of life. So definitely important. Now, energy can definitely be a huge burden. It is one of the highest costs of home ownership. Not many people realize this, but the cost of energy, as per the US Census data, is higher than property taxes and insurance often for homeowners. So whenever you go into buying a home, the very first step is always to get pre-approved by a mortgage lender. And so that is so that you know what your budget is going into the home buying process. Well, energy is a huge part of that. It's more than the property taxes and the homeowner's insurance. And so why are we not adding that into the equation? Why are we not budgeting for that as well? It's definitely something that we're trying to change. Now, I'm going to move my face even farther out of the way so that we can read these very important topics. So it can really be a burden, energy, often for people. So low-income households can see almost 8% of their income going towards energy costs. That's a massive part of their income, and that's just way too high. Often we will actually see about 1 in 5 households saying that they had to reduce or forego food, medicine, or other necessities in order to pay their energy bills. That's unacceptable in the United States, quite frankly. And then more than 10% of households kept their homes at an unhealthy or unsafe temperature. Again, going back to being comfortable in our homes, we want to make sure that we're not only comfortable, but that our homes are a safe place to be. And if we're keeping our homes in the winter at 60 degrees, that's not comfortable, but it's also not safe, especially for children. So the goal is to help people be more comfortable and be able to afford their homes comfortably. Now, as residential real estate experts, the people that our communities trust to guide them through this, we can change this. So let's do it. But first, let's look at what's already going on in the world of energy. I'm going to use the European model just to share with you some information with what's already in law. So as you can see, this is Europe, and most of Europe is very green. I like to see that. But they have laws in place that require energy labeling or energy disclosures. And so as you can see, it's all of Europe. They're way ahead of the United States in this particular area. Now, let's look at the specifics of the European model. I've actually labeled here some listings. I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see this. These are 2 listings from Ireland, and you can see that the top one, 5 Woodview in Dublin Road, it has a listing at the top right of it. I'm going to circle it over here with my mouse. So you can see that it says BERC2. Now, in Europe, they use something, they don't use the Home Energy Score, HES, they call it the Building Energy Rating. So that is the BER, Building Energy Rating. And so that's BERC2. If we look over at the bar graph over here, that's actually fairly efficient. Not too bad. I would say that that's a little bit better than average usually. Now, if we look down at Old Grange Cottage down here, that's BERG. So that is not very efficient at all. This information is required, pardon me, a little ahead of myself. This information is required with every listing in Europe. So anybody who is interested in buying a house can instantly see what the energy efficiency of that house is and can be better prepared to make decisions based on that. Now, what does it look like in the United States? If you've ever looked for a home or looked online on Zillow, Redfin, wherever, this would be pretty familiar to you. This is what our listings are like in the United States. And as you can see here, we have a beautiful photo of the home. And under heating and cooling, we don't really have a lot of information. We don't have almost any information based on the energy efficiency of the home. What is this going to help me with? It doesn't really help me at all as a consumer. So we have this rating for cars, but not homes. If you've ever looked to buy a car, anytime that you go there, you expect to see a lot of information, this little tag that you see at the corner of the screen. And that is the mile per gallon rating. Whenever you buy a car, that's what you expect to see. Now, this is an asset rating for the vehicle. So they pretty much say that if you drive the car with normal driving habits, you will, in this case, get 37 miles per gallon. But your behavior it will change that. So if you drive very conservatively, you might get a little bit more per mile per gallon. And if you drive 90 miles per hour everywhere, you're going to get a little bit less on the miles per gallon. But there is a general rating for normal use habits based on the assets and the actual pieces and parts of the car, what that vehicle can actually do. And so why don't we do that for homes? It seems so silly that we don't do that already, but why don't we do it for homes? It's a huge part of our lives and where we spend most of our time. So let's take a look at the home energy score, because this can be a solution. So I'm going to move my face down here so that you can see a little bit better. But the solution to this can be the home energy score. It is a mile per gallon style rating. Just like you see on cars, this will give you an idea of the mile per gallon asset rating for the house. As I said here, it's asset focused. So we're not looking at the past 6 months of energy bills from the previous owner. We are looking at this house has this HVAC system, this water heater, this type of roof, and based on these assets, normal living habits will actually produce this type of energy. So we aren't taking into effect the previous owner's habits in this instance. So it's more standardized like the mile per gallon rating. It's also very timely. There are many companies out there, energy companies or whatnot, who will do an energy audit for you. It's a different type of energy audit, first of all. And second of all, usually you have to take possession of the home before they will do the audit for you. They can't do it for you unless you're the homeowner. And by that point, you've already committed to buying the home. It's not that helpful of an information for you at that point in time. So definitely having the home energy score, you can get this no matter what time of year or whenever you want it. We can do the home energy score for you before you purchase the house, after you purchase the house, or even if you're just a homeowner who wants to be more informed about the energy efficiency of their home with no intention of moving. So that's definitely helpful. It also provides recommendations, which is really, really very helpful. But before we get to the recommendations, I just kind of want to go over what you see here on the home energy score page. So you can see up here, it just says the address, and this is a sample, but you can see that there is higher energy use, which is less efficient, up to lower energy use, which is very efficient. So the average home score in the United States is a 5. This particular house scored a 3, and just because it scores low doesn't mean it's a bad house or a poorly constructed house. It just means that there's room for improvement. So in this particular case, this was produced to say that the estimated annual energy cost for this particular home is $2,400 approximately. That's about $200 a month. And so that helps people be able to say, oh, I can afford that, or maybe I should make some changes. And then we also make some recommendations, which I'll get to in a moment. And if all of those recommendations are followed, then you can expect to go from a 3 to a 7 and spend $1,500, which is a huge savings. Now, down here, it describes this home currently wastes 44% of its energy on efficiencies. You could save almost $1,000 if you make some recommended improvements, and you can eliminate 36% of your carbon footprint by making these changes. So this is very helpful information. 44% is a lot of energy to waste on inefficiencies. So down here, for those people who prefer to have a visual cue, you can see that there's a bar graph as well sharing the same information. So let's go to the next page where we can see the recommendations that I was talking about. Now I have to move myself up here. So this is the final page of the home energy score report, and as you can see, it makes recommended improvements. First of all, repair now, and second of all, repair later. Repair now are recommended improvements that can be made fairly soon. Adding insulation in your attic, for instance, you can do that today if you wanted to. And then the replace later are things that you might consider replacing or changing in the future as systems fail. So for instance, this recommends a certain type of furnace. When the furnace goes, you might want to consider adding this one later. So all of the recommendations are always going to be based on a return of investment that is reasonable. And as you can see here, for instance, it says attic insulation, increase the attic floor insulation to R60 and you can save $264 per year. This helps home buyers and homeowners, actually for that matter as well, to be able to prioritize the different projects that they want to do in order to improve their energy efficiency. They can say, oh, I can do this now and I'll wait to do this later, and get more bang for your buck, I guess you could say. It also helps people realize well, I got a quote to do my attic insulation for $500, let's say, I can get a return on investment in 2 years and then drastically improve my energy efficiency. So this is really, really helpful information, and all of my clients absolutely love it. Now, energy efficiency is something that homeowners really want. Now, the NAR, National Association of Realtors, in 2019 had a sustainability report, and they said 3 out of 5 home buyers' most important features were directly related to the home's efficiency. So as you can see in the bar graph down below, the 5 top things that people wanted, 3 of them, windows, doors, and siding, that is covered in the home energy score. Same with comfortable living space, as we talked about earlier, and the home's utility bills and operation costs. These are 3 of the top 5 things that people are looking for, and no one else is telling clients about this. So definitely, home energy score can help them get that information. Now, realtors will want efficiency as well, because many studies show that high-performance homes can sell for a higher price and spend much less time on the market. Say that again. High-performance homes sell for a higher price and spend less time on the market. I don't know any real estate agent who wouldn't want that situation. Let's take a little bit closer look at that. There was a study that was done in Chicago on a neighborhood, and all the homes that were sold, as you can see here, the inside ones are homes that disclosed energy. Now, this means that they disclosed the energy costs, whether that was a home energy score of 1 or a home energy score of 10. Doesn't matter. It could have been a good one or a high one or a low one. Doesn't matter. Just having disclosed the energy costs for the home is what they were looking at. As you can see here, homes that disclosed energy costs spent an average of 43 days on the market compared to 63 days on the market for those that did not. That's about 3 weeks, guys. That's a lot of time. So whether you're buying or selling, or if you're a real estate agent, that is valuable time. Nobody wants homes sitting on the market for any longer than they need to be. Now, homes that disclose their energy costs also went to closing, progressed and actually finished at closing more frequently than those that didn't. So as you can see here, the closing rate for homes that disclose their energy, again, low or high score, doesn't matter, closed at a 66% of the time, whereas the homes that did not disclose the energy for their house closed about 53% of the time. So less time on the market, higher value. Huge. Now, let's look at that value. So the research has showed that you can get 3.5% up to 9% higher value on your house. That adds up to an average of about $34,000 more value for your home for having green features. Huge deal for people. Now, this guy, Jeffrey, he gave a really wonderful testimonial, and I'll read it to you really quickly. He says, "Now that I know my home energy score, I understand how to make my home more comfortable, save money, and reduce my carbon footprint." Who wouldn't want to do all of those things? Now, let's take a look, because requirements for this are coming. We already talked about the requirements in Europe, and as you can see, we have the map of the United States here, and as of early 2020, this is the picture of the United States. There are voluntary or pilot programs that are out there where it is recommended that you have the home energy score or energy disclosures in the home buying process. There are certain states and cities that are requiring it as a mandatory energy labeling. Up in Minneapolis, there is a program called the TISH program, Truth in Sales of Homes, and it is required to disclose energy costs with the home energy score, a similar program, so that people are aware of their energy costs and inefficiencies in the home as part of the buying process. It's required. So certain cities, as you can see those green squares, it's required. There are other code-based disclosures and energy bill disclosures throughout the country, and many states have legislation with their local state senate in order to make this a requirement in their state as well. So we're really excited about, it's gaining steam throughout the United States, and it is coming. We are going to be catching up to Europe very soon, so you can expect to see that. Now, providing quality information for our clients and that is actionable to help them live more comfortably is the goal. We want people to be comfortable and be able to afford the energy in their home and improve their home so that they can lessen their carbon footprint and lower their energy costs. Now, this is me doing a home energy score assessment on a home, and it just so happened to be a beautiful sunny day and there was a large flower. So I like to have fun on the job as well. So reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to leave my information down below. And I can also, depending on where you are watching this video, you might be able to see in your area there are many different assessors. So reach out to me and I can provide some information for you on that. So I took some questions at the end of my talk earlier today, and there were a lot of really amazing questions. And so people were asking, how much does this cost? Personally, I kind of chalk up the cost to a marketing for myself. I offer it as a free value-added part of my home inspection for my clients. So I do the home energy score for free for my clients just so that they get all the information that they need. But some people do charge a little bit more. Perhaps if they're doing a home inspection, they add on $25, let's say, to do the home energy score. So it can be $25. It can go all the way up to $125 I've seen in certain parts of the country, but it really depends on your area and your service provider. A few other people were asking about many different things, and I can share a lot of that down in the comments down below. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave your questions down below. I'm happy to answer them anytime. And I'm going to get going. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys later.